What's going on, guys? So let's quickly do a recap for the trading activity for the previous week and also what this week has been looking like. So the previous week, I did miss a trade. That trade would have been a very, very important trade and would have impacted the month of August significantly, but I did not take that trade. I got off pretty much a little bit too early because at the time when I woke up, I was not yet in the zone. And let's quickly look at this trade. I'm going to give you guys my take on it, what was happening at the time, and my reflection afterwards. So, looking at this here, now this was a trade on gold. This is one of my favorite setups. Just nothing too complex here. We had price dropping very very much to the downside. We had the pullback, so it was like a retest of this region that made me take that trade. So at the time, that was around 5 6 ish a.m. I woke up, I look at the chart, I saw it immediately, I executed, and I did my calculation, funny enough, and the calculation was risking about $233 on this trade. That's roughly around 1.5 ish percent on my trading account, and I'll be potentially banging this amount, which I chickened out, guys. I did close this trade a little bit too early. Now the reason being because our price was still pretty much consolidating around this region. I've had some silly losses before this, and I wanted to, be on the safer side. And at the time, like I said, I was not fully in the zone. I was still pretty much not fully awake at the moment, which I would have maybe walked around the house or do something, play loud music or something to clear up my head, but I did not do any of that. So this one is one of those things that when you wake up and you're not fully in the zone, you might not be very spot on with your decision making. So that did affected me. This guy did close around this region when it dropped out. I looked at it, and this region might be, one of those places that price might just bounce, and you can see price creating a huge volatility to the upside, a very strong count, that kind of stuff. So I stayed off. So staying off, that cost me, this amount of money, and price did, dropped to my target. So I was, pained. I watched this trade hit my target without me. I closed pretty much early, and I had to fall back to reflect and take a look at what went wrong. What was the things that I could have done better that I did not. One of the most important thing that happened for me was because the silly losses I took before this, and also I did wake up on time. I did my risk assessment. I did all the other things I was supposed to do, but I was still not yet in the zone. That was just the major thing. So I had to like fall out of trading for a while, let trading be, and do other activities. I think also in line with that, we've had lesser and lesser fundamental events that do shake up markets. For the most part, things around tariffs and what's not were not happening anymore. So gold was not really, giving us good volatility or setups, because of, for the most part, when you wake up in the morning and gold is on the buy side, you do hold that buy side to the end of the day. It's on the sell side, do the same. But these few days you find gold buying during London and selling during New York, or vice versa, and it's not really aligning that much. So that was it for me for the previous week. So away from that, so if you look at the charts here, this has been pretty much been, it has been choppy. The other trade position that I was eyeballing that could have also executed was the trade position on the 1 hour, which was at the back end of I guess Monday trading markets. We also had this drop, we pulled back and we dropped. The difference with this one with the previous one was, if you look at this, was like scooping up. It wasn't giving us a really clear sense of where it wants to retest. If it was this zone, it did push higher, and it wasn't that clear enough, and price was essentially looking like it wants to still get to this region, but we just tapped into that region and we dropped. So all of this, trades that have not been, getting to that point or aligning that much to trade. If you look at this morning, we had this, impulsive move to the upside. We have price correctively coming down. And this here is like a 50-50 scenario, which is we might buy up from here or still go all the way down. So I just want to be away from this. However, I will still set my alerts to see how price interacts within this zone. If we are going to get a confirmation, if we don't, I'll just stay off. I don't want to accumulate unnecessary losses. My max loss that I do cut off my trades are around $100 or thereabout, and it seems I've picked up about three losses in a row. That's about 300. So I just want to cool off outside of trading and see if the market aligns, and also I get myself in the zone and be very very spot on with my trades and all of that. So regarding that, I'm going to be running some errands outside of trading and all of that. So what I want to do is I have a little bit of touch that I'm going to do on a setup I've been working on, a trading setup I've been working on for the past months. I did a vlog on that. I'm going to leave the video in the description. You might want to check that just to watch and just enjoy the video. It's just like a chilled video, a vlog basically. So today I'm going to be doing that. I like running errands outside of trading largely because it helps to recycle my mind. By the time I do all of these external activities outside of trading and I come back to the charts, it's as if I'm looking at the market with a fresh pair of eyes and I become much sharper. So let's run these errands, and I'm going to add every other important details in between. So guys, let's go. So I want to quickly do a review of this space. I actually did work on this setup a few months ago. The monitor, this is Samsung Odyssey G9. There's a 40, about 40 plus. I can't really remember what the screen size is here, but the very big advantage this screen gives you is it has a wider curve screen display. It's like you're trading and you're being immersed inside the market basically. Then for this part, this one is candlesticks and some chart patterns. Looking at it, I can see some of my favorite chart patterns actually. This is one of those things that will help you to be able to recall trading setups and all of that. So this is just something you can get on Temu, nothing too serious about it. Then this acrylic decks, this was sourced from a vendor in Lagos. I can't really even remember the vendor because of these things that is I bought like months ago. Then the clock is basically like the thing that we just use to like do the finishing touch for the setup just to fine tune it. So back to the setup we're looking at earlier today. So earlier today before I left the house, this was the gold setup I was looking at. This setup was scooping to the downside. It was actually showing some signs for a buy signal, but this setup is quite tricky here. Now this is largely because price was sitting around this zone here. We didn't actually get like a multiple baseline touch. We're just strictly down, and this one of those setups that if you try to be aggressive with it, trying to catch it, you keep getting losses. Eventually the setup did tank from here. It dropped all the way to this low. This was the low which I was talking about telling that this could actually turn out to be a buy or drop out for a sell. Now on the ideal market, if we had this setup going like this and we come down like this, there is a structure to this corrective leg, that would have been a solid confirmation for me to take the buy as well. We didn't actually get that. But the other thing is when we look at this on the 4 hour, on the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour gives us a little bit of hints here. We didn't actually get a rejection candle. This is like an indecision candle. So this indecision candle does not necessarily give us a good safety net that this level has been locked in, and price will not revisit this level, but it's not like that. And in the Sean candle basically tells us like the market is not yet skewed towards one direction, might be buy or sell. So we want to still stay off from this, but pretty much if you look at this level held up for quite some time. So this is just one of those things I don't like seeing in the market when the market It's not giving us like a good sense of direction, what it wants to do, or anything like that. Simply, what we're going to do is just to stay off from the market. So, by the way, if you love content like this that I make and all of that, do what to support the channel by, smashing the like button, dropping your comments, your thoughts on, whatever it is that has been covered concerning, strategy idea, how I manage myself outside of trading and all of that. As well as I'm going to leave, useful links in the video description, the prop firm I use. I'll leave the link there. Also, um, the video for my previous vlogs while I was sourcing for all of this. And by the way, if you like, this kind of setup and you want to, you know, reach out for an inquiry, do also drop a comment. I'll be glad to help. So, guys, that's pretty much it for this week for the month of August. So we still have one more week before the month rolls out. A lot could happen. This is trading. You need to be open minded and all of that. So far, so good. The market has not been favoring me at much. So I'm currently on the drawdown. I'm still pretty much trying to manage my trading account with a good psychological mind frame and trade my way back into profit. So um, let's see how the back end of August will be. Let's see how next week is going to be. Until next time, guys. Cheers. I'll see you on the next one.